I just opened up the windows for the cats, let some fresh air in, which means allergens get in, which means that's going to hit me, and then I'm going to have people saying things about my current health condition. Keep in mind, I haven't left the house for 29 days. So, pretty sure we're good on this end. Now, the New Jersey Devils we're up to in previews, which means it's Nashville and then it's Montreal as I go in reverse alphabetical order. And for Devils fans, yeah, I'm wearing Devils again. It's kind of a Devils week. And the Devils are an interesting team going forward. So very often in live streams, I'll get asked, do you think the Devils can get back to the playoffs next year? And my answer is, yeah, I do, actually. At the time of the pause, they were 28, 29, and 12, 68 points. Last season, they were 31, 41, and 10, 72 points. So technically, they were having a better year this year than last year, even though they had traded Taylor Hall. Their record seemed to be better after they traded Taylor Hall. They sold at the deadline. They don't really have UFAs to worry about. And they actually look pretty good. Now, the previous season's 31 and 41 and 10 record, that's with Taylor Hall. That's with spending some money. So if they spend their money wisely next year, there's no reason they can't get back into the thick of it. Now in 2017-2018, 44, 29, and 9 record, 97 points. They got eliminated in the first round. And the New Jersey Devils kind of overachieved a bit that year. I remember we were trying to pick who might or might not make the playoffs, and I went with New Jersey probably missing and got told I was a hater on that one. I wasn't a hater, just I thought they would end up falling below the playoff line. They made it. And it was fun, but it didn't last very long. And so the expectation I had last season, 2018-2019, was that they should actually play just as well or maybe even get a little bit better. And then that happened. So New Jersey's had their issues. Now when you look at their UFA crop this summer, again, they don't really have anything to worry about. Rooney, they can hold on to if they want. They can let him go if they want. Clayson only played a handful of games. He's a depth defenseman. And Dakota Mermis. Now, Dakota Mermis was notable the last month that was played. But again, I don't think it costs you a lot of money to keep Mermis around should you choose to do so. On the restricted free agent front, Joey Anderson is there. Jesper Bratt. Now, Bratt's probably going to get a raise. But I don't think it's going to be a crazy high raise either. Mueller has arbitration rights. Restricted free agent. Blackwood's going to be expensive. And the question for whoever is deciding this, whoever is actually the GM at the time that all of this comes around, because as far as I can tell, it's still an interim GM officially that's running the team, Blackwood needs to get paid, but you need to be smart about it. So you need to pay him like he's going to be a starter. You don't need to give him huge star money. So I'm thinking probably a contract similar to what Jordan Binnington got last summer for Blackwood. And that wouldn't break the team. Nothing's going to break the team, to be honest. Hayden, arbitration rights. He's a restricted free agent as well. They only have $55.3 million spent for next season. So even though they've got a couple of expensive contracts, they are in no danger of going over the cap next year. They could bring Hall back. They could this summer say, you know what? We'll bring Taylor Hall back. Sign Taylor Hall to a deal. And they've still got that first-round pick from Arizona. And there you go. Now, that's not going to happen. I'm just saying they could. They could financially afford to do so. Now, keeping in mind, of course, that Jack Hughes is going to need to get paid when his contract is up. And there are others as well that are going to need to get paid when their time's up. So there's a lot of money there. And we'll see how much of it gets thrown in the direction of Jack Hughes when his entry-level contract is up. So their best contract, I went with Severson, $4.17 million through 2023. People will point out Heishier. Heishier, again, we'll see. We'll see over the length of that contract how it works out. It could end up being a huge bargain. Yes. I still think there was some risk in that contract. Took some heat when I said there was some risk to that contract. I think any really long-term contract is going to have some risk to it. And when you're paying for what a player hasn't done yet, there's always some risk to that as well because we don't know the future. Right? If I had told somebody in December, hey, I'm not doing the review or preview because these games aren't going to end up mattering. We're not going to be playing hockey when April runs around anyways. People would have thought it was crazy. So the idea that we don't know what a player is going to be 4 or 5 years down the road isn't really that crazy. Worst contract, pick him. And this is amazing, really, that Schneider at $6 million, Subban at $9 million, both of them through 2022, so two more seasons past the one that just got paused, and they're still only at $55.3 million. And keep in mind that with a team that's that cheap, they were still playing pretty well. So this is a team that doesn't have any big financial concerns. They're a team that really is built to turn things around quickly. One or two, I'm talking, could be forward, could be defense, one or two well-placed free agents, maybe picking up a goalie to back up Blackwood. You know, maybe you find a way out of Schneider's contract with whatever happens coming out of this situation. And yeah, things could get better for New Jersey quickly. Because again, at $55.3 million, there's some money there that can be spent without worrying too much about down the road right now. That could change very quickly, though. So rookie watch. There are some interesting names on the board. Ty Smith, of course, there were some that thought he probably was going to make it this year, and he didn't come in. He very likely gets a spot on the team next year. I'd be very surprised if he didn't. Their blue line could get a lot better quickly. Now they're losing some they've lost some players. They lost Vatanen to Carolina, but I think their blue line's going to be okay. Again, I don't know if they necessarily make the playoffs next year, but I think they could be close with the right moves. Nolan Foote, who became property of the New Jersey Devils at the deadline. Nolan Foote could very well push for a job. Depending on projections, he may not make it this year. He may make it next year, but it's an interesting prospect that's out there anyways. Kevin Ball, who was a in-demand prospect that ends up going to New Jersey. A very big defenseman. So just the sheer size and just the combination of things he may be able to provide makes him a fascinating prospect for the New Jersey Devils. Yannick Kokkonen, who came over in a trade from the Carolina Hurricanes. He may end up getting himself a job as well. And with the name Kokkonen, I really want to see him at the NHL level because fun names are fun. Nick Merkley is another one who would qualify as a rookie. Now, if you're wondering where's Boquist played too many games this year to qualify as a rookie next year. So while I would expect him to do more than what he did this year he had 4 goals in 35 games. I can't put him on the board as rookie watch because he's not technically a rookie next season. But Nick Merkley, we'll see if he plays. He played 4 games for New Jersey this year, so he still qualifies as a rookie for next year. And Gilles Sen is one that's interesting to me. He's 24 years of age, so if he's going to end up getting a job with New Jersey, it kind of has to be this coming year, I would think. Because again, 24 years of age, if he's not ready now, he probably won't be. And if they could have Blackwood on a brand new contract and have Sen as the backup and have a way out of Schneider's contract. Because again, Cory Schneider, while he was playing well going into the break, that's a $6 million contract that if they can get that off the books and bring in Sen, and again, if they can spend their money wisely in certain places, this team could turn things around quickly. I think it's easy to forget with the New Jersey Devils, based on what's happened over the last almost a decade now. It's easy to forget that this was a proud franchise that had a lot of good winning seasons and pretty solid teams throughout the mid to late 90s and throughout the 2000s. But I don't think they're that far off from getting back to it. I really don't. I think that it's easy to take a look at teams this year that were below 500, that lost more games in regulation than they won overall, and to kind of say, well, they're done. So they won 28 out of 69 games. So, yeah, no, they're done. But I don't view it that way with New Jersey. I think the Devils are in decent shape. I think the fact that you move guys out at the deadline and you still play well, it says a lot about the coaching. So Nesradine probably sticks around as coach. And I think it means that you've got a roster of players who want to prove people wrong. And Palmieri, I thought about putting up there as best contract as well, because Palmieri's on a very team-friendly contract. Most players for this team are. You could point to Zaka and say he probably makes a little bit more than he should, but at $2.25 million, you're really not looking at a contract that's going to stagger the team or really, destroy the team's hopes of getting better. So I don't think that this year was going to end up a whole lot better than the 72 points from last year, but it was going to be better. I'd say probably 78, maybe 79 points. I don't know if they can get back to the 97-point mark that they had 2 years ago, say this coming season. That's going to depend on what they do in the offseason. But if you're a Devils fan, things look better right now than they did 12 months ago. All the Taylor Hall, that dark cloud of Taylor Hall, it's over. That's gone. And now they've got some money to spend, and we'll see what they do with it. And they've got a starting goaltender in Blackwood that looks like he's going to be their starting goaltender for a long time. How much he gets paid might very well decide how they fill out the rest of the roster and how much money they can actually go through going forward. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, how optimistic or pessimistic you might be as a Devils fan. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through, you just happen upon this video. And remember, stay home when you can, stay safe when you can't, and hey, don't forget to wash your hands as often as possible. Thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. You guys are great. You guys are watching. I'll make content for you guys to continue to watch. So there you go. Thank you guys so much again. I will talk to you very soon.